Police state.
Big Brother may be in your phone. Social media giant Facebook is pushing facial recognition as a way to safeguard online identities, but is instead raising concerns over privacy in several sectors. Facebook's facial recognition technology works by analyzing users' photos and generating a string of numbers called a template that's unique to each user. When photos and videos are posted to the social network, the unnamed faces are scanned and matched to names and templates stored in a database. A Facebook spokeswoman claims that if the system cannot find a match, it doesn't identify the unknown face, adding that the facial data is deleted immediately. While it's possible to turn facial recognition off, critics still find the software problematic since it scans every image, even of people who have opted out of the feature. Facebook has also applied for several patents that use the technology. One aims to tailor ads by analyzing users' facial expressions via their phone camera. Another checks shoppers' online profiles and uses it to determine a trust level. This Big Brother-style approach to facial data is worrisome, especially since Facebook doesn't exactly have the best track record for honesty or for keeping user data safe. Fortunately, a lot of groups recognize this and are moving to protect biometric data. The company is facing a class action suit filed by Illinois consumers for violating a state biometric privacy law and could stand to lose money and what's left of their reputation if it moves forward. Privacy? What privacy?
An optical illusion to protect your PIN number. A technology developed by researchers at New York University could defeat shoulder surfing attacks with a display of an optical illusion. A shoulder surfing attack is when an attacker obtains a person's PIN number by directly looking over their shoulder or by recording the process. The illusion PIN system generates an on-screen keypad with number keys in a certain configuration for the intended user. However, someone viewing the same screen from a distance will see a completely different configuration of number keys. For added security, the system generates different keypad configurations for the intended user every time they log in. An NYU study revealed about 73% of mobile device users surveyed admitted that they had observed someone else's PIN, although not always with malicious intent. Meanwhile, the majority of victims said they were not aware they were being watched. This is how your smart TV spies on you. WikiLeaks' latest documents allege the CIA developed a secret hacking program that can turn smart TVs into bugging devices. Smart TVs are often equipped with cameras, microphones, and internal memories, and can connect to the internet. WikiLeaks says the CIA's Weeping Angel hack can place the smart TV in fake off mode, leading the owner to believe the TV is off when it's actually on. The TV then operates as a bug. It is able to secretly record conversations through the camera and microphone and send the files to a CIA server. Samsung's F8000 series smart TVs were allegedly hacked by the CIA. Vizio, which has sold more than 11 million smart TVs since 2010, was fined $2.2 million last month after it was found to have been tracking audience habits without asking permission first. LG's current smart TVs do not collect user data, but the older models do.
WhatsApp bans millions of Brits as new privacy law comes into play. Millions of Brits are now reportedly without access to the world's most popular chat app thanks to new legislation from the European Union. Basically, anyone under 16 years of age who didn't verify their age has been dropped from WhatsApp thanks to the European Union's new General Data Protection Regulations, that's GDPR for short. Now, that law, in case you live in a cave and haven't been spammed by companies you've long forgotten about over data for the last 6 months, is meant to enforce privacy EU-wide. But what about Brexit? Whole other discussion, Tomo Sapiens, but TLDR, UK is still subject to EU law until March 2019 at the earliest. That means companies like the Facebook-owned WhatsApp need to comply with it if they want to continue doing business in Europe. So how are they going to check users' real ages? Well, from as far as we can tell, pre-16 WhatsApp user wipeout, all anyone had to do to continue using the service was to check a box saying they were over 16. Now, that'll be super effective, right? After all, it's not like anyone, especially kids, will lie about their age to access stuff they shouldn't online in 2018. Some apps might be tracking what you watch on TV. Hundreds of smartphone apps could be tracking their users' television viewing habits. Via a device's microphone, many apps reportedly use advanced automated content recognition software by company Alfonso to listen in on users' television viewing habits. According to the New York Times, Alfonso does this by pinpointing audio signals in television ads or shows. The company tracks this data for advertisers. Alfonso chief executive Ashish Chordia says users are made aware of the technology and that it complies with federal trade guidelines. The software can also track what films people watch at the cinema based on audio snippets provided to the company from film studios. The company also gathers data from TiVo, televisions, and streaming devices from other manufacturers. This, the Times reports, can be combined with characteristics such as age, sex, and income via large data companies. Europe toughens privacy laws. Europe is about to embark on a big-time revamp of privacy laws. From May 2018, businesses operating in the European Union could be fined 20 million euros, or 4% of their global turnover, for violating new privacy legislation. The fine amount is determined by whichever figure is larger. According to the New York Times, 4% of Facebook's global turnover would be around $1.6 billion US. According to Reuters, the law will apply to social media companies, banks, insurance firms, technology businesses, and any enterprise which collects consumer data en masse. Can't they all just operate from London then? No. This affects Brits as well. The UK is still a member of the EU and remains subject to EU law until they Brexit next March. The new law means that companies need to be more transparent about how they handle user data, get permission for it, and it also gives users power to request for it to be deleted or moved elsewhere. So, as the Times reports, this could mean moving your banking information from one bank to another, or even switching your Spotify playlist to another provider. U.S. Homeland Security Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen warned the law may give rise to more cyber threats. She said users opting not to give information may hamper internet security research, which relies on trends in this data. The new law comes into effect in all 28 EU states on Friday, May 25th of this year. China wants to track all cars with RFID chips. People in the Chinese government are probably the only people in the world who read George Orwell's 1984, if they can find a copy, and say, Oceania sounds like a nice place. They have so much freedom. The Chinese Communist Party is planning to track all new cars using RFID chips in a voluntary program that begins on July 1st. That will become mandatory by 2019. According to the Wall Street Journal, China's Ministry of Public Security and the ministry's Traffic Management Research Institute is working on the new tracking system. Chinese officials claim that windshield RFID chips will help the government study and improve congestion, thereby reducing pollution. Officials claim another goal is to help combat the rise of vehicular terrorist attacks. So basically, this is just another surveillance program to keep China's 1.3 billion bees buzzing in perfect oblivious harmony and has nothing to do with cutting down pollution. The system will not be able to locate a car like GPS, and it's unclear how much citizen information will be stored on the chips beyond car color and license plate. Maybe China should just start implanting tracking devices into all of its citizens.